Aaron with 1492 Coachworks. Today we are super excited to bring to you our 2022 show coach. This is a quad slide, 36-foot box, Super C motor coach, 100% aluminum construction, really built like nothing on the market. From the frame up, the exterior skin, everything is fully fabricated. We feel it's the best shell on the market. If you haven't checked out our interior video that we've done of this, check that out on our YouTube or on our website, www.1492coachworks.com. If you have any other questions as we go along, we'd love to talk to you in person. 405-745-6666 is the phone number. Let's get into this thing. First thing I want to talk about is the chassis. This particular chassis is a 2021 Freightliner Cascadia. We special ordered this with a Cummins X15 605 horse engine in it and an Allison 6-speed. Part of that was just trying to be different. The other, I really like the Cummins and the Allison. It's a really smooth combination. The Cummins got a great exhaust brake, but I mean, I say all the time, even with the chassis, we don't really care, you know, what chassis you go with. It's kind of Ford, Chevy, Dodge. To us, it's whatever you prefer. We can supply chassis. We've got customers that have coaches on order that they ordered their truck. All of that is kind of a flexible area. And again, part of our niche is you get what you want, not here's what we have and you got to take that. If you've got a different combination that you'd like, or you've heard, or you read, or somebody recommended, no problem, we can do all that. But again, this is a 605 horse X15 Cummins with an Allison, Freightliner Cascadia chassis, 315s on the front. Another unique thing we did on this, and we recommend, like any of the trucks that we bring in that are not pre-sold, we're going to bring them in with 200 gallons of fuel capacity. We'll get to that a little bit more when we get to the bays. But it's got 200 gallons of fuel. I feel you really need that between your generator, diesel-fired, Aqua-Hot, hydronic, and just getting off. If you're going to get off the interstate and go 100, 150, 200 miles, you know, up into the mountains or something like that, and back, and need to run your generator, you're going to want and possibly need more fuel. And it's not like you can necessarily pull these into the, you know, the corner gas station to fuel them up sometimes. So again, we like 200 gallons of fuel, but you do lose a bay in that. The auxiliary tank is on this side. We'll discuss that in a second, but those are some of the things that kind of make it original. Building on a Class 8 truck chassis like we do, I feel gives us really the best foundation to start with. You know, it's an over-the-road tractor. They're meant for 1 million+ miles. In fact, it's a 1.2 million mile rating on this truck. You've got all the safety data, the crash testing, the rollover, all that stuff that's behind this. You know, it's been engineered into this truck, and it's a great foundation for us to start with. You know, you've got the big engine versus a Class A. You've got all the engine, the frame, all of that stuff is out here in the event that you get in an accident. That's all out here. It absorbs, you know, a ton of the impact. It's a lot safer. Windshields are a few $100s, not thousands of dollars like they can be on a Class 8. And my favorite thing is, other than stretching the wheel and speccing the engines and all that stuff, there's nothing original about this chassis. This chassis is a Class 8 over-the-road truck. Any service center, they're all over. There's hundreds. Most of the truck stops, all that stuff, they all know how to work on these. Fuel filters, oil filters, all that stuff readily available, and they know how to work on them. I mean, the Love's mechanic on the side of the road can practically rebuild one of these. So I like all of that, and that's what I love about the Super C platform, is we just start with a really good stout foundation, double frame railed trucks that are just meant to haul and carry and hold up. So moving on to our portion of it, the cab over portion here. You know, our bodies, our construction, we talked about it in some of our construction videos, 100% all aluminum. Everything's heavy gauge metal, 080, 090 exterior skin. It's fully fabricated. The corners up here, all of that is fully welded out, metal finish, body worked, and then painted. And it gives it a really good, clean look. I think it gives it a premium look but also it's a premium product that's going to hold up. I mean, there's no fiberglass, nothing's just screwed on. It's an entirely different way of building than sort of the, you know, I guess industry norm, if you will. So we like that. Everything we do is 100% aluminum construction on our product. So truck frame up is all aluminum. The bays are all aluminum. Every bit of that's all fully fabricated. We custom paint. This is forged stone gray effect color on this particular truck. We paint all of that in-house. Those are some of the things, you know, we are standard with full paint, single color, and then we match the truck body, or we upgrade to painting the truck out, we upgrade to graphics. All of that stuff, again, are part of the design process. Next thing I want to talk about, it's probably the most exciting thing for us as a, you know, launching this brand, 1492 Coachworks, is we've been able to partner with Valid brand slide outs. We have the industry exclusive on the Super C platform for the Valid. So this is the same slide that's in Newell, a lot of the Prevost, all that stuff. It is the premier top of the line slide. You might see some others in the Super C category, some of the premium product. They may have the radius corners like this, though we are the only one that has Valid air seal, and that's a big difference, is the air seal portion of the Valid. So around this entire slide out up against the wall, there's basically I refer to it as a glorified inner tube mounted into a track, and it pressures up and seals the whole slide. So it's not just a gasket, it's not something that wind, water can drive through, dust, all that stuff. It pressures up, and then when we go to initiate the slide, either to move in or move out, the first thing it does is release the pressure, then it vacuums the seal and pulls it away from the slide. Then the slide travels, and then it inflates itself. You can stop anywhere along the travel if you just need to bump your slide out 6-8 inches to get some more room, but you're in a parking space at a rest area or something like that. You can just bump the slide out. Wherever you stop, it'll reinflate and seal there. So there's no awnings on it. There's no nothing like that that's going to get torn and just kind of add bulkiness. It gives a really clean look. And as you'll see in some of the other footage, when this goes in, it's so smooth, so sleek. I just think it is a premier, not only is it a premier product, the override for it is awesome. I mean, you pop the panel over here on the side, each side, disengage the drive mechanism, deflate the seal, push it, literally push it in by hand, reinflate the seal, and you can go on down the road until we can get you in and get serviced. That's the best manual override that I know of. And the reality is, no matter how good something is, there's always a potential as we go up and down the road that something may fail. So we say it all the time, it's a hallmark of our engineering to, you know, we don't accept problems, but we know things can happen. So built into all of our engineering, you'll see it as we go throughout. There's overrides, there's just backups. We do our best to kind of keep you going and keep you on the road and not ruin the trip. We are fully insulated. We have 3-inch thick doors, automotive handles and latches, 5/8 striker bolt. Again, look at the 1.5-inch framing around here. The full bays, whether they're heated or not, all the bays are sound deadened. They are fully insulated. Everything is fully welded out. Good, solid, great platform to build off of, to mount, you know, anything to, but whether we do it or you do it after the fact. This bay here, we have our cooler, outside cooler. We put it on an extended glide, so it comes all the way out. You can get all the way into it, open it all the way up. This is the standard Dometic CFX dual compartment fridge. So you can set these both to refrigerator. You can set them to freezer, basically individually control those two compartments, which I kind of like. If you need ice out here or just need some all refrigerator, and then it shoves in the door. So it's just like that. These bays on this truck, again, our typical configuration, you have input on it, but normally we're going to have just storage on this side and mechanical on that side. So basically the stuff that you're going to use when you're camping is on this side. and the work components that keep the truck operational, coach operational, are on the other side. So storage bay, we can do shelving in there. We can do a fold down shelf. We've got toolbox options. This door, I mean, really pay attention to this door. When we started down the path of doing the research and development on these, the #1 complaint that everybody complained about was their bay doors. I mean, this door is so strong, again, 3-inch thick, all aluminum, welded, stainless steel hinge, just hell for stout. The shock on it, again, we prefer the hinged door. If this door were to ever come open going down the road, it didn't get latched properly or something like that, the wind's going to keep it you know, shut instead of the door folding up and then everything comes out, nothing's to keep it there. The other thing that I like is we actually drop down in to the bay for your storage, so kind of keeps everything locked back in, keeps it in its place. This is, again, storage bay, and we talked a little bit about it earlier. In this bay is the auxiliary fuel tank. This is the 80-gallon tank, so you get a total of, you got a 120 on the other side and under the cab door, and then an 80 on here, so we have 200 gallons of diesel fuel. We also put the propane for the, really there's no propane on this coach except for the outside grill, and then I don't know if you can see it around here, but there's a port for if you want to do an outdoor fire pit, and that's the only thing that the propane's on. So it's got a 50-pound propane tank built in. It should last quite a while. I've had a few questions along the way. Have you ever had a problem fueling? This fuel fill is as easy to use as it is on the other side, and I've not fueling these things up, I don't know, 40 times now. I've never run into a situation where we were too close to the pump over here to get this door open. It's not even close. There's usually plenty of walking room all the way around, so no issue that I've personally experienced there. In this zone as well, this is the kitchen slide. On the inside, in the back of the kitchen base, we put the outside entertainment center, TV, the Sonos soundbar, and the satellite system out here. Again, takes up about that much space at the very back of your fridge cabinet. I like this just on the inside, the function. You're not taking up storage. Putting it in a bay out here kind of takes up storage, but just, again, keeping it up and in there. And then that door, you know, closed. It's flushed in all the way around, fully insulated, leak proof, all that. So on our bays, before I forget real quick, all our exterior latches, all electronic locking. We've got bay lights inside every compartment on auto lights. As the bays open up, the lights continue to kick on. Next is the entry door area. We use a upgraded entry door. You got the metal screen down here to keep pets from coming out. This is actual glass door slider here, not a plastic door. Good, nice, heavy duty screen door. The step, upgraded entry door step. Lighted grab handle, the keyless entry. This controls, you can either control just this door with the touch of a button. You can unlock all the doors, or you can unlock just your bay doors with this. Outside outlet, there's a porch light above. Down here is your docking light. This coach, and we'll show some footage of it, this coach has got full ground effect lighting, under slide lighting. Of course, all the awnings are lit, and it's all RGBW lighting, so it looks really, really cool. It's a lot of fun at night. LED lights everywhere, 360 security lighting and work lighting that just lights up the night. Again, we'll have some footage of that we'll cut to, but just really clean, good looking stuff, really functional and very high quality. Everything is primo. We source the best we can find in all of our products. Moving on to the rear bays on the passenger side, that's where it'll really get fun. We got some cool stuff there. So on this coach, we put the grill, the pull-out grill. It's a Solaire infrared grill, primo, high-dollar infrared grill. We put it here. This is actually with the infrared grill. you cook with it up. So this is your heat shield, protect it. Plus, we're not under a slide out. The awning kind of ends right about here, so smoke and all that stuff isn't kind of piling up under there, and we're further away from the entry door. I think that's a good function, even though it's, you know, it is away from the entry door, but your smoke and all that as you're cooking isn't going in there. Plus infrared, if you never cooked with that, is just a lot cleaner. It kind of evaporates the grease a lot more. This is a portable unit. You can lock it both sides, quick disconnect the coupler, and take that and put it on a table. It just simply lifts out and then away for storage. This pull-out sink is one of my favorite options. Not only is it the sink, you lock that in place, is it the sink, you have this pulled up, you got hot and cold function, click that down, leave that on, and now you've got a 25-foot hose reel. I love that feature, being the dad of 3, highly valuable. Great at washing marshmallows off, and then it all tucks away. On this coach, we also put a pressure washer, 75-foot hose reel, pressure washer, wand storage. This is a 1500 PSI, 3.5 gallons, so it's got a lot of volume. Pressure washer, spot-free rinse with the built-in bypass, so you can rinse your toys and not worry about spots. I love that feature as much as anything. When you stop, especially traveling in the summer, windshield's full of bugs, you can go up there and blast it all off, not have to wipe it. Really, really handy feature. Again, all of these things are nice. They all take up bay storage. They're built in, so part of that conversation that, you know, with you, the customer, is, you know, what's more valuable to you? Is it real estate? Do you need storage? Everybody's kind of got their own thing. So we're just showing some of this stuff. It's not has to be, it doesn't have to be here, it doesn't have to be any specific area. Just kind of showing the options and the configurations, but these are all things you can choose from. And depending on how you're using it, the bay space may be more valuable. One thing I didn't point out earlier is all of our bays, whether they're storage or they got equipment in or whatever, we powder coat, or excuse me, bed line all of them. So it's got a really tough, durable finish on the inside and a slippery surface. Moving on to the rear now. Around here at the back end, there's a couple things I really want to point out before we talk about our hitch and our bay. Again, I really like these lights. We've got 1, 2, 3 lights on each side, the turn, stop. They all have the backup lamp built into it. They're really bright. In addition to that, we've got the, that's part of our 360 light. You can access all of that from the cab on your Firefly screen. If you need more lighting while you're setting up camp or pulling in and out of somewhere, you can kick that on and get even more light, because these are awesomely bright in and of themselves. The rear camera in the back, that's part of our 360 camera system. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And then our spoiler on the end as well, when we get into some of the roof line stuff and talk about our roof system and all that. But every bit of this is all full fabricated aluminum, 100% aluminum. I don't like anything fiberglass. We've repaired it, we fixed it. There's a coach here, actually here right now, that it's all come undone and the bolts are broken off that we're fixing for our customer. It's just too much vibration going down the road. So none of this is screwed on. It's all fully welded, integrated into the structure. Our hitch system, I think, truly sets us apart. We have had, again, quite a few hitches that we've had to repair in the past on other people's products. And this, frankly, is something that really just terrifies me, kind of keeps you awake at night kind of stuff, where, you know, you've got 30, 40,000 pounds worth of trailer back here and people's lives on the line. You want to make sure it's strong enough. So we have gone completely overboard on our hitch design system, and I think nobody is building a hitch like we do. The first thing we do is coming from the truck frame all the way down and integrating into our structure. There's 3/8" steel plate, and it comes down basically, kind of goes right under here. Then there's another layer of 3/8 steel, that comes down here, and that's what you can kind of see coming along here, and that goes all the way under. There's gussets integrated into that. That first layer of steel goes 4 feet forward from this point. So we are plating the rear frame of this truck and locking it in, so everything is unitized. It's all tied together with 38. All of this hitch system is all tied together to the truck frame with 38 3/4 inch grade 10 bolts. Nobody's building a hitch that stout. There's no way it's going to go. There's a roller underneath and the skid plate, because this is, we call it our tail dragger rear end. This is the part that's designed if you're going to drag coming through a low spot or a dip. This is the part that's designed to drag and take that. So glad hands, 7-way semi-plug, 7-way round, 7-way RV tied to the brake controller for electric brakes, and then our camera system. You can have up to 2 cameras on your trailer. Slide-in hitch. There's a lot of different options out there. We can give you some recommendations, but all of that hitch system, how we do that and undersling that hitch, makes way for a feature that I know we're the only ones that currently have it. I know we've had some competitors already checking it out, trying to figure out how we did it. But this bay, push it in, we got a safety till you hear it click. We don't want it to pop out, so you pull the handle and you push it in, listen for the click, pull out a 6-foot long storage bay, 6 foot long. It's about 24, 25 inches wide, 12 inches high. Flags, ladders, lawn chairs, all of that go in here. Again, never have too much storage. This is a great long bay, all electronic lock. Okay, on the driver's side, we're going to leave the slides in. Just kind of wanted to show, the valid slides, how they flush in, all that stuff. Again, really clean, just kind of looks like a seam in the body line. Super smooth. Air, water, dust can't drive in there going down the road. So not only does that flushing in help that, but of course the air seal really mitigates any kind of that. When that air seal's in there, it really locks everything in super tight. So going down the road, it's not sitting there shaking, and you don't get any of the squeaks and stuff that you get with other systems. So that air seal is the trick on the valid slides. Cool look as well. Our cord reel bay here, cord hose reel bay. Generally we put the stuff here. It's a 70 foot 50 amp short cord on the reel, on the powered reel. All these reels are powered. The city hose connection, and then 75-foot air hose tied to the truck air supply system. And we have also put in an auxiliary air compressor tied to that same system. So the auxiliary, when you're parked, keeps everything aired up, keeps your truck tanks full. The air seal for the slide works off of all that. Plus you can air up, air down your toys, your cars, the tire trucks, all that stuff with that. I really like that feature. RV park cable connection, and then we put an outlet in here. If you're winter camping, you can run a heated hose and run it right up into this bay. All of this bay, the wet bay, all of that is heated by an Aqua-Hot register. Moving up to our 2 wet bays. Both of these bays combined make up our wet bay. The manifold system is for all the supply lines. Basically every fitting from, or every faucet or fixture from here to the actual fixture is a home run. So it's a straight shot from here to there. The only fittings are here and at the fixture itself. That's great for 2 reasons. It's PEX water line. PEX is almost indestructible, cannot burst. So if it were to get cold or freeze, if you left the heat on or lost heat when the coach was sitting out and it wasn't winterized, nothing to worry about there. You can drain this manifold system with the low point drains, pulls all the water out of it. A lot of times you can avoid even winterizing with that. But the other thing, if your a faucet leaks or something to that fails, while you're using it, you can turn that individual fixture off and keep on going on your trip. The city hose or city and fresh fill selector, you can turn the hydronic off. The tank rinses are built into it, so we put gray and black tank rinses. We are standard with 75 gallon, 1 each, 1 black, 1 gray waste tanks, and at least 150 gallon. We've got options for an additional third waste tank and additional water if need be. Under this hatch here is where all of our waste tanks are. They're underslung underneath the frame. They're electronic dump valves, manual overrides on all that, so we can get in to all of that. The hot and cold faucet over here. So if you need to hook up a hose, and you can have both hot and cold or warm water mixed in here. Your antifreeze inlet, and then we also have a macerator pump on here for your drain system. You can bypass that or use that depending on what the configuration is, and that is optional, but it's a nice feature because if you're not sitting somewhere where you've got good drain, you know, a lot of times at the campgrounds, in our experience at the RV resorts, they haven't quite figured out that, you know, it needs to run downhill, so the drain is higher than where it's coming out of your coach. That sort of helps with that. The Firefly 7-inch screen controls everything. Water pumps, all that stuff are all controlled from here. We run standard. We run our water pumps down underbelly on vibration dampening and isolators, so they're really quiet. That way if somebody in the middle of the night gets up, needs to use the bathroom or something, you don't have the water pump directly under your mattress and vibrating. A lot of complaints about that in the past, just talking with customers about what they like and don't like about their coach. So we put it down here. This particular coach has twin water pumps on it, so you can use one or both. It's got, if you watch the interior video, it's got the multi-head shower fixture. Both water pumps really help with that if you're running off of your tank. And even I like to use it. I fill the tank, and then even if we're at an RV resort and we have city water, we basically run off of the pumps because it's a more even and a lot of times better flow. And then just having the backup if a pump fails, which is kind of a frequently, you know, serviced item in our experience on the horse trailer side and specialty side of our business. So just having the backup and the redundancy of 2 water pumps, I like that a lot. But again, all of this is a heated wet bay all the way over to the other side. The outside sink and pressure washer are all on the direct opposite side of this, so that bay all the way through is all heated, as well as the cord reel bay with a hydronic heater and its own thermostat. So you can set it at, you know, 45, 50 degrees and not have to worry at all about anything freezing. Moving forward down the driver's side of the truck, we've got the generator bay. We like to put the generator in front of the axles. It kicks up, like if you pull onto a gravel or in and out of a racetrack or campground or anything like that, and your generator's on, it just kicks up so much dust behind the tires, and that all gets sucked up into your generator. So having it in front of the axles, we feel, is the preferred location. Plus it's closer to your fuel tanks. All of that is better for it. This is a 10K Odin generator. We start with an 8K standard. Usually a coach this size is going to have a 10 or a 12 K generator on it. One thing, we sound deaden and insulate this whole compartment so it's really quiet on the inside. And then we talked about it a little bit on the interior video. The generator and the hydronic up here are actually exhausted back and up through the roof. So when you're sitting using it, all the exhaust is up on the roof and not coming out. The exhaust you see there is the truck exhaust. That's where it comes out. The other thing with our generators, we use a commercial grade generator, and the biggest deal with that is that it has a built-in charger on the generator. It's got about a 500 watt charger on it, and we tie that, we use a dedicated battery. Nothing else is tied into the battery. So our generators have a dedicated start battery on them. Our thinking there is if your coach battery was to go dead and for whatever reason your truck battery was dead, you should always be able to start your generator and get, you know, recharge your coach battery, and then use the pairing feature to jump start your truck, so that way you never get stranded without power. But it's a commercial generator standard and a dedicated start battery. The hydronic bay is right in front of that one. Again, We use the 675D Aqua-Hot unit, so it's a 240 volt element, so you don't have to burn diesel if you're plugged in to 50 amp service. The 240 volt, the dual electric element, will prevent you from having to burn diesel. If you don't have that, then you can use just low heat or low electric, 120, or just all diesel fired, the burner on it. The other thing that we do standard on ours when we do the Aqua-Hot is we do the engine loop. So it's a block heater for your engine, plus you get the added feature of going down the road. The engine coolant is circulating through the Aqua-Hot and keeps everything warm, and that way you're not having to burn diesel just to keep, if you're having to run heat going down the road or anything like that. The engine that's already hot is circulating through, so you're not burning any additional electricity or diesel to do that. But Aqua-Hot bay is heated, and it's all tied in and operated through Firefly, all the controls. But again, we've got manual override, so the start generator on the start switch on the generator, and then in here the Aqua-Hot control switch, so redundancy built into everything. Our inverter bay is next. This is a pretty key. We've got two, they're mounted up here in the ceiling, 3,000 watt inverter chargers. So both are inverters and both are chargers. Don't necessarily need both of them to be chargers, but again, kind of like the water pumps, it's backup. So we've got 300 amps of charging, so it'll really charge a lot, but it's also a backup. If one of them were to go bad for whatever reason or fail, you've got the redundancy of having 150 watts of charging. Kind of like the theory of dual alternators, you sort of aren't going to be stranded. Down here, we've got all of the manual overrides for the jacks, the valid controls, the Trimark switches, all of that are there. We've got some service cable points where you can plug in and we can get intel and information on the system from out here. And then we also put our central vac unit in here, so you've got the vac built in here, and we shelf it all off, so there is some additional storage in here. The opposite bay over on the other side, I failed to mention, in the ceiling of that bay is a central vac port for a hose. So if you need to, clean out your toy vacuum Cheerios out of the stroller, whatever it is, that's over there. The next bay after that's the battery bay. Up top here, these first four are the engine, the chassis, the Cummins start batteries for the Freightliner portion. This is the generator, dedicated generator start battery. Really cool feature on this coach are the twin lithium battery packs. So they are 600 amp hour a piece battery packs. The newest generation that they just brought out for this same size, same weight and all that are now 800 amp hour. So the future coaches would have two 800 or one 800 amp hour. That's huge to have, 12 to 1600 amp hours of battery in that kind of space is huge volume. We run with the twin inverter. We're running one of the main AC off of one of the inverters, and we did a real world test with every single thing on in the coach, running that AC on high, and it lasted over 12 hours just off the battery with no backup, no charge. So I think going down the road, you should be able to get 16 to 18 hours of runtime without having to start your batteries and run an AC while you're doing it for additional AC cooling while you're going down the road. Here we are on the roof. A couple things I want to point out up here. Unique to us, I think, that we do is you'll see the awning brackets. These are running down both sides. This particular coach has 4 total awnings, so it's got 2 on each side. If the standard clean line roof system is 1 21-foot awning on the curb side above the entry door, and then it's fake case all the way around. But you can upgrade to awnings all the way around. That way it's going to be nice to your neighbor on this side, or that's the shade side. You can use that. But this is our custom fabric bracket, anchors right down into our roof bowl system, and it ties all the way up. This is the front cab of the coach. The cab over portion that stops here. The awnings go right into that. There are the 3 ACs that you can see here, the two 200-watt solar panels, max fan, the in-motion satellite here behind me, the high-definition satellite, and 3 more max fans back there. Some of the things that we did, the features that we did on this one is at the front and at the side, right here as well, and at the back there are gutters basically. So all the water that gets on here shoots out those, and it actually clears out from the side of the coach, so you don't end up with water running down the side of your coach in a rainstorm. It works really, really good. And then the event that it really rains hard, it'll come off the back and not pile up here. So there's no concern about that. But you can just see, I mean, everything is just stout, it's welded. This is the exhaust that we talked about for the generator and the hydronic that's piped up through the roof. The cell phone range extender, and big deal. I tell customers all the time, I think I talked about it a little bit in our construction video, like our roof with our I-beam system, roof truss, system that we do, I think is as stout. I mean, this is as stout a roof as you can find. I think it's sturdy as being on the floor or on the concrete. The half-inch plywood that's directly on top of the roof trusses, and then the 060 aluminum roof, one-piece aluminum roof all the way around, just make it really bulletproof. You can walk on it, you can work on it, it's safe. The awnings coming down off of those brackets, they tie in with our fabricated rear spoiler at the back. I think it's a really, really good clean system, hence the name Clean Line Roof System. You just don't see all of the stuff that's going on up here. But for some of you that ask about more solar, you can kind of see, you know, on this particular coach, we could get another panel here and another panel here, but with this configuration, there's just not a whole ton more real estate up here. So it kind of helps explain why we just can't, you know, add solar all over without giving up other things. We get a lot of questions on that. But anyway, that's our roof system. We hope you enjoy the tour of our 2022 show coach. Hope you see why we're so excited about this, between the valid slides, the ceramic insulation, the spray foam, the heavy duty aluminum fabrication. I mean, all the things and the effort that we're putting into what we believe is the best Super C coach available on the market today. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to call. Stop by the factory. 405-745-6666 is the number. You ask for me, Aaron, or Lisa, or Weston are also available to help. We'd love to chat with you. You can look us up at 1492coachworks.com. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.